A lot of characters use this phrase before they start talking about a serious topic. So when someone comes up to you and starts off with this, you better get ready. 皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. The Japanese sword, Katana, has a history of over 1,000 years and were called the soul of the samurai. They were sometimes dedicated to gods as items for them to reside in and are still regarded as something very special, as the swordsmiths forged them by following traditions that have existed from ancient times. It is not surprising that such an important culture had a big influence on the Japanese language too. So today, as a Japanese katana trainee, I will introduce 5 Japanese idioms related to the katana. I will be counting down the idioms by how frequently they are used, so I hope you can watch till the end. I'm sure you've heard of many of these idioms in anime or manga, and they are still often used in daily life today. So I hope this video will be useful for those who are studying Japanese. By the way, I made a part 1 of this video about a half a year ago, so please check out that video too. それでは本日も参りましょう。1. Nukuchi. Nukuchi originally means to suddenly pull out the katana from the sheath and slash. Nuku means to draw and utsu means to hit. So it literally means to draw and hit immediately. Let me show you an Iaido kata that has the same name, Nukuchi, so you can have a clearer image. Today, we use it as a phrase to express something that takes place without notice. I believe many Japanese would first imagine a Nukuchi test that happens at schools. Let me give you some examples. はい、それでは今日は抜き打ちテストをします。筆記用具以外はすべて片付けてください。先週、この地域の飲食店対象に抜き打ちの衛生検査が行われました。Recently, I see a lot of famous Japanese YouTubers doing nukiuchi bag checks on each other to see what they usually carry inside their bags. 2. 焼きを入れる. 焼き入れ is the origin of the word 焼きを入れる, which is one of the processes of making the katana swords. It is one of the final procedures where the swordsmith puts the hot blade in water to cool it instantly. This is a very important and difficult process to increase the strength of the sword and create the curve of the blade and also the hamon patterns. From this process, as an idiom, it means to energize or tell someone to focus more on what they're doing, or sometimes even to express sanctions or tortures. It is most often used when bosses scold their subordinates for a lack of motivation. 部下の勤務態度にそろそろ焼きを入れよう。監督に焼きを入れられる前に真面目に練習した方がいいよ。By the way, there is a similar idiom called 焼きが回る. But this means they have done the 焼き入れ process too long, and the katana has become dull. This phrase expresses that a person has gotten old and his or her abilities are declining. こんな仕事も一人でこなせないなんて、私も焼きが回ったな。3. 土壇場. Dotamba is where the execution of a sinner and the trial cutting of a sword using a necklace body were performed during the Edo period. So today, it has come to be used as a term to refer to a state of desperation, a situation where you don't have any options left. You might have heard of the phrase dotakyan, but this is actually an abbreviation of dotamba de canceru, meaning to cancel at the last minute. I believe many Japanese people who use this phrase don't know that it originally comes from 土壇場。先週から約束してたのに直前になってドタキャンされた。がむしゃらに頑張っていたら土壇場で合格できた。4. 単刀直入。単刀 means a single sword, and 直入 means to enter directly. So it literally means to grab a sword and attack right away on your own. As an idiom, it means that you get into the main subject immediately, without any chatting or small talk. I think if you watch anime in Japanese, a lot of characters use this phrase before they start talking about a serious topic. So when someone comes up to you and starts off with this, you better get ready. 単刀直入に言うが、君とはもう仕事はできない。彼のように何でも単刀直入に言うのは良くない。5. 相槌を打つ。This is an idiom that every Japanese has heard of or has used at least once before. 相槌を打つ is a phrase that originally expresses two swordsmiths using hammers to forge a katana in a rhythmic pattern. Usually, the master holds the smaller hammer, telling the timing to hit the sword to his subordinate holding the larger hammer. 相槌 means a set of two hammers, and utsu again means to hit. So this phrase means that a person nods or reacts to the other person talking at a good timing. In English, back-channel responses like, yeah, I see, really? would be words you might say as 相槌。人の話はしっかりと相槌を打ちながら聞こう。相槌を打つタイミングがおかしいと話を聞いてないと思われるよ。Then lastly, today's conclusion. I introduced 5 commonly used katana-related Japanese idioms. 1. Nukuchi. It expresses something that takes place without notice, just as he would suddenly draw a sword from his sheath and attack. For example, a pop quiz at school is called a nukuchi testo. 2. Yakiを入れる. This means to energize or tell someone to focus more on what they're doing, or sometimes even express sanctions and torture. It is most often used when bosses scold their subordinates for their lack of motivation. 3. 土壇場. It refers to a state of desperation, a situation where you don't have any other options left. The most commonly used slang used in this idiom is ドタキャン, which means to cancel at the last moment. 4. 単刀直入. This means that you get into the main subject immediately without any chatting or small talk. It is often used at the beginning of a conversation when you're about to get bad news. 5. 相槌を打つ. This means that a person nods or reacts to the other person talking at a good timing. In Japan, back-channel phrases like I say, yeah, or really would be words you might say are 相槌. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have ever heard of any of these phrases before, please hit the like button to let me know. And my goal is to achieve 1 million subscribers by January 2023, so your help is what I need. In this channel, you can take a closer look at Japanese traditional culture, tips on traveling to Kyoto, and social problems in Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. And if you'd like to learn more about today's topic, please take a look at my sub-channel, Shogo's podcast, through the link inside the description box. I would like to introduce 4 more idioms that I wasn't able to add in this main video. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. どうもありがとうございました。